Let me talk to you.
Talking what's important to Nashville.
Sweet mother of God, what is the holdup?
This is the Chase and Big Joe Show.
Well, Lottie frickin' da!
With Chase McCabe and Big Joe Dubin.
Good, great, grand, wonderful.
We're here on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome in. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chase McCabe, Big Joe Dubin. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos on a rainy Thursday, but hope you're having a fantastic night. It was good to be back at Bridgestone Arena last night, where I saw I saw something that told me that I've made it in life.
I'm not going to guess, but I think I know because I got like 15 messages last night from people at the Preds game.
Yeah, they put our lovely faces
I saw that
on there.
They
That was
said-
something that we've worked on behind the scenes. Shout out to Cindy, who designed those beautiful graphics.
Right.
That have all of our shows. And yes, before he texts me and he starts complaining and telling me how great he is, Jared's was up there too.
Oh,
So
nice.
we don't
Okay.
have to worry about that.
Good. With us, it's kind of like the Preds are like, well, we have a blank space up there for one final spot. And like,
I see what you did there. That was good. Working in the T Swift already. That was good. Well done. You didn't even mean to do that.
No, she has a
is-
song about a Jumbotron?
Blank space. I got a blank space, baby. I'll write your name.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm
See,
learning.
she's that much in your head right now.
I'm learning. Okay. Well, good.
That was good. I need to educate you.
Well, maybe, I can date Tanya Tucker, and then her and I could be the national power couple.
I could see you and Tanya Tucker
Yeah, right.
doing a duet of Delta Dawn.
We could do that, yeah. Or the San Antonio Stroll, whatever it is. All right, good call. But, yeah, so that was good. So thank you, Nashville Predators, for that.
Yeah, no, I think it looks cool to have all the shows up there, promote the brands.
Yeah, good.
It's all about the brand.
It's all about the brand.
That's what it
right?
is. Titans and Bengals continue their preparation. We will discuss that. Today is a blank slate, not a blank space, but we want to interact with all of you. 615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, a show for the people.
It is a show for the people.
We will get to our question in just a second, but I just have to gloat because my guy, Ronald Acuna Jr., has created a club, the 40-70 Club, the first
Amazing.
ever Major League Baseball player to hit 40 or more home runs in a year and steal 70 or more bases in a year. It's been a very fun series against the Cubs at Truist Park, as the Braves have had to come from behind 2 nights in a row, and they've won the game. He was the star of the night last night, stealing 2 bases, including setting up the winning run. And he said last night in the postgame, Nick was telling – I missed this. Obviously, I was at the Preds game, so I saw the highlights, but I didn't hear what he said. And Nick told me about it, that he was like, it was good to be in the 30-60 club, but it's even better to create the 40-70 club, and I love that.
Is there a 40-60 club?
Well, I guess. I mean, I guess.
Acuna, I guess.
I
Is that the
guess.
same
Yeah.
club?
He's a
Yeah.
part of 2 clubs, I guess. I don't know.
40-50?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I remember, who did Canseco get like in the 80s? Was he the first 40-40 guy, and people were just going crazy over that?
Probably.
I remember the 30-30 club's been around for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean.
But think about that. I mean, that's 40 home runs and 70 still. It's amazing.
Oh, it's. I mean, it just. He's the MVP. There's no doubt. Like, I mean, I know that, Mookie got hurt and everything, and it was a competition. Willie would have told you it was more of a competition than I thought it was. And I love Mookie, and the cheer for Mookie, but it's Acuna's time this year.
Okay.
So he gets the 40-70 club. The Braves continue to roll, 102 wins on the year. And with them winning last night, they have home field throughout the National League playoffs.
So they're on a collision course with the Dodgers. Is that what I'm guessing here?
Probably. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
I mean, if it isn't, then I'd be surprised to see who the other team is besides the Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got rid of that rule, and I'm glad they did.
Okay.
The All-Star rule should.
I'm
the
learning
All-Star-
a lot today.
The All-Star game should be a waste of your time in the middle of the summer, and that's it.
Okay.
That's how I view that.
And they tried
Should
to
not
make it
count for anything.
relevant. So off of Acuna, now we've come up with, we want your opinion, correct?
Yeah, hang on. I'm going to answer Nick's question or your question. Dodgers do have 98 wins. The Phillies worry me a little bit, but I would say it's probably going to be the Dodgers that the Braves have to face.
Okay, so there's 3 division winners get in and 2 wild card.
3 wild card now.
3 wild card.
Yep.
So the Cubs probably, the Reds are battling, and the Marlins.
So right now your wild cards, Philadelphia has the first wild card locked up. Arizona's in decent shape with the second one. And
Okay.
then the Cubs, the Marlins, and the Reds are duking it out. Padres kind of in there, but they're running out of time. I would say I think the Cubs will get it, but I don't know.
All right, we'll have to wait and see on that, Chase.
We sure will.
Keep me in the loop if you don't mind.
I will. I'll text you this weekend.
Via emails.
Okay, emails. Okay, that's fine.
Cool. Work that. All right, so what's the question?
Well, I thought you were going to ask.
Okay, well, here's the deal. With Acuna happened last night and being the 40-70 club.
Acuna, not Acuna. Not
Acuna?
Acuna Matata. Acuna.
Well, he is Acuna?
Acuna.
Acuna.
There's the little thingy over the end.
Is that a Schwab? Is that called a Charles Schwab?
I forgot what they call that.
Avant-garde or whatever it is?
Somebody tell me what they call it. The little accent
I
thing.
didn't do well in English. So
I
the
didn't do
question
good-
is,
I didn't do good in it either.
what sports record is not going to be broken in our lifetime? I mean, this is actually a summer topic, but it's relevant because of what Ronald did last night. I'm just going to call him Ronald. So what sports record is never going to be broken in our lifetime? There's no way anybody gets close to Joe DiMaggio's 56. There's no way. Because once you get 35, 36 games, the media swarms you. And by 40, I mean, you're going to the plate like, good Lord. That's not going to be touched. Nowhere near that.
That's I mean, that's a good one. Can I read a text real quick from the end of the morning show that just made me laugh?
Yeah, sure.
Coy in Clarksville said, "Can you let Jared know that when he does his impressions of Titans fans, not all of us sound like rednecks in a trailer with a Bud Light in our hand and a Dale Earnhardt flag hanging out the window?"
Can you let him know that? Can you do it now?
I did not know that. I will. Now you got me doing that. A tilde? Is that how you say it?
Yes, a tilde. Yeah, it does sound right.
Who's that?
That's the thing over the.
Over the
Oh,
end.
okay. A tilde?
Not the movie Matilda, but a tilde over the
It's a
end.
tilde.
yes.
It's not a Charles Schwab?
That's what everybody's saying. It's a tilde.
Okay. What this audience is fantastic. You guys are amazing. But anyway, the record is. So, what do you think, Chase? Off the top of your head right now, what record will never be broken?
Single season or career, or it doesn't matter.
Whatever.
I think. Well, you told me one earlier, and I don't want to steal it
Go
from
ahead.
you, but
Steal it.
I don't think an NFL team will ever go undefeated again.
Great. I'm with you.
I don't even think in the regular season. And here's why. Because there's too much parity in the league, and coaches are so paranoid about getting their quarterback or their main player hurt that, everything's locked. If you get to the last game of the season, so week 18, then you got everything locked up, then why play any of the starters? And even though Belichick did it, and but look what happened. I mean, the Giants almost beat them in that last game, and then end up beating them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You can think back to that and go, well, the Giants got to look at everything they were going to do, and it helped them.
Sure.
Who knows? I just think coaches are too paranoid now, and it'll never happen.
That's a good one. Dr. Crane, you got one for us?
I have one, and Nick Keiser gave me one in my ear. He said Wayne Gretzky's scoring title.
Oh.
If you get rid of the assist, he's still the goal scoring.
That'll never. You're exactly right.
For me, it's the Golden State. I'm not a basketball guy, but the Golden State Warriors regular season record, it was like 73-3 or something like that.
7-3-9.
9, excuse me. Thank you. Yeah, numbers are a little bit odd on
That's
me.
okay.
But yeah, I feel like that won't be broken. I mean, that's a tough ask right there.
That's a good one. I do think maybe one day a team beats that, just because it's you're either really good in the NBA or really bad, and I
Yeah.
could see a team doing that. But it's still, I mean, it'll be a while. But the undefeated in the NFL, I don't think we'll have a 14-0. I mean, the Dolphins went 14-0 that season, won their games in the Super Bowl in 72. I get all that. Patriots went 16-0, won their 2 playoff games, got beat. So the Patriots season, it was more impressive. But what's the goal at the end of the year? Win the Super Bowl. But I don't think there'll ever be a 14-0 team. I know they play 17 games now, but now we're entering the 4th week of the season. There are 3 unbeaten teams. 3 unbeaten teams: 49ers, Eagles, and the Dolphins. And I just think it's just, you're right, with the parity and everything that goes on, we'll never see that again. It'll be so tough. But
These are flooding in.
yeah, I know. 615-737-1025. But the DiMaggio's hit streak is not going to
yeah, that's a
even
good
come
one.
close. I mean, these are all we've talked about before, but even with Ronald Acuna, I say it right?
There you
Acuna,
go.
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
By the way, it is. Thank you, Andrew Allegretta from Vanderbilt. Tilde. That's how you say it.
Tilde.
That's. He said.
Well, we need Andrew. Andrew pops up our IQ level on this
Yeah.
show quite a bit. So thank you, Andrew. But you think a Vanderbilt and Ansler would know that, right?
Well, sure.
Because they're smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's. I appreciate the help because I didn't know what it was called. I mean,
We do.
That's why I asked.
Appreciate the help there. You had one about NASCAR. What was the NASCAR one?
I don't think we will have another 7-time champion. And people that follow NASCAR may go, well, Jimmy Johnson did it in the 2000s. Jimmy Johnson did it because, one, Jimmy is one of the greatest of all time. I mean, he won over, I think it was close to 90 races, something like that. So you got to give him that. The playoff structure, the championship structure at the time made it where it was, I think, easier for him to win those 7 championships. And now, with the way it is, I think it's easier and harder to win a championship at the same time. And what I mean by that is, like, you're going to have probably different champions every year. So for a guy to go on a run to win 5 in a row like he did, and maybe that's the better one. He won 5 in a row. Nobody will ever do that again.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I think that'll never be touched.
Here's one. The Boston Celtics won 8 straight NBA titles from 59 to 66.
That's a good one. And by the way, yes, I know Earnhardt and Petty also won 7, but I don't think there'll be another 7-time champion.
Who's closest now?
Jeff Gordon.
But active. Sorry.
Oh, active? Nobody. I mean, Kyle Busch has 2.
Wow.
I think that might. I'm trying to think. That might be the most through an act. Joey Logano has 2. Larson has 1. Elliott has 1. Harvick is retiring. He has 1.
So nobody.
Kozlowski has 1. Yeah.
But Casey Atwood.
He never sniffed one.
All right, we'll continue this. I want it later on. We'll talk about, because we looked up what stat did we look up? Stolen bases.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So we'll do this. This is hilarious because I said without a doubt Ricky Henderson had it, but Ricky Henderson does not own the single season stolen base record. We'll get into that in a little bit.
He does not. Yeah, we'll get into the Titans. We'll continue to take your texts on our question of the day, a record in sports that will never be broken. 615-737-1025. Chasing Big Joe up and running on a Thursday. 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Green right, Fox 2 run, double catch.
He takes you inside the huddle through the eyes of a quarterback.
Wide 85, take.
Catch ESPN NFL analyst Tim Hasselbeck every Tuesday at noon as he breaks down the big stories in the NFL.
Buffalo, maybe Miami.
And with the Tennessee Titans,
The Titans might be like, we're interested in a 1-year, $1 million contract.
Tim Hasselbeck is on Caroline, Willie, and D-Mace on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
At Mercedes-Benz of Music City, a healthy and productive culture takes a day-to-day discipline. Here's Sam Cavett, General Manager, with a few thoughts.
Mercedes-Benz has its standard, and we have Dream Motor Group standards. They're definitely on the same level, but I feel like we challenge ourselves at least as much as Mercedes-Benz challenges us. It's a genuine motivation to take care of customers, and we see it in the customer reviews.
Live the dream at Mercedes-Benz of Music City, mbofmc.com.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity? Loan Pronto can do it now in less than a week. Hey, Willie Donick here. That's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. You don't even have to touch your primary mortgage. You can keep that 3% rate intact. Get just the money you need and pay off all those credit cards or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
MVP's bonus days are back at Lowe's. Shop the largest selection of Klein tools and get 5 times the bonus points. Plus, right now, buy a DeWalt Power Stack battery kit and get a select DeWalt Bear tool free, up to a $249 value. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid 9/18 through 9/29. Subject to change. DeWalt offer valid through 10/11.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. Why are you walking to work?
Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They are draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore.
Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do, because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, you're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WINNING for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code WINNING. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WINNING for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WINNING.
Every day we are live and local.
You need to give Ron Tannehill a 2-year extension.
There haven't been too many coaching changes for the Predators.
And your source for Nashville sports.
I think that's what the Titans need.
Players who can score.
We are Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Sports Talk, the next generation. You're listening to The Chase and Big Joe Show.
Make it so.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some.
A TV-themed Thursday, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chase McKay, Big Joe Dubin hanging out with you, and hope you're having a fantastic day. Our question, a record in sports that will never be broken, and I think we got 100 texts on the text line.
But we base this off of what happened last night with your favorite player.
Yes, Ronald Acuna Jr. becomes the first 40-70 player in Major League Baseball, 40 or more home runs, 70 or more stolen bases, with a few games left in the season, for sure.
How many has he been thrown out?
I don't know. I need to look that up.
Because we looked up the question, Chase and I were talking before the show, was like, who holds a single season stolen base record? And I said, well, it's got everybody knows it's Ricky Henderson. And Ricky stole 132 and out of 172 attempts. I mean,
so that was 76%.
Yeah, right.
That he stole.
And you knew he was going to steal.
In 1982, yeah.
Right. And so I was like, that's the record. And Chase like, well, not yet. There's a guy that stole more bases. Explain it from there, and then I'll add my commentary.
So according to baseballreference.com, which is a great source of information, they have the immaculate grid, all those things. Joe's favorite player, Hugh Nickel, at 29 years old in 1887, 100 years before I was born,
right,
stole 138 bases.
138 bases. So my thing is, back in then, there were no Joe Rexroads covering baseball. It'd be like, you'd show up late and like,
well,
hey,
but they were like, hey, she,
right?
How many bases did you steal today, she?
You'd show up late and like, hey, Hugh, did you play today? Hugh would be like, yeah, I played today. And you're like, you steal any bases? Yeah, I got, put down 5. So there's how accurate were the stats back then? We don't know that stuff. I mean, we just don't know. So Hugh Nickel, we're going to pour one out for you today, my man. Number 5.
Okay. Hugh Nickel.
I
like it.
He's got the record for stolen bases. That's crazy. So how many as Acuna? How many times attempts has he had?
I'm still trying to find it. Let's see.
More than 70.
yeah. Thanks, Joe. Let's see. Ronald Acuna has had. Well, actually, that's pretty good. He's had 81 attempts, and see, this hasn't even been updated. So he's stolen what, 70? So that would be 83.
Okay.
He's had 83 attempts.
That's a pretty good rate. That's about 90%.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
I am double. Yeah, see, they got to update this. They still have him at 68. So.
All right, so we got the Gretzky ones coming in. Our man Robert Stanley, and we got Nick Keyser and a few other people have texted about Gretzky's record for not going to be broken. And here it is. He had 2,857 career points. That means he averaged in his 20-year career 142 points per season. That's just amazing. Unbelievable.
I just want to impersonate what Rexroad would be like in the 1800s. Like, yeah, today Tigers baseball, they got the win out there at Tiger Stadium.
I got a question for you, Skipper.
Yeah, Skipper, why'd you pull the pitch out in the 5th inning?
Well, back then they pitched all day. They
sound
pitched
like Mayor Quimby now.
They pitched triple headers back then.
People of Springfield.
They just kept going on and on and on. Another one, UConn women's 111-game win streak. 111.
That's a really good one.
111.
Okay, there's one I want to tie into the Titans and to now.
Okay.
That a couple of people have texted along these lines. Well, into the NFL. So Clinton Clarksville said career rushing yards in the NFL. Well, he says because running backs don't last anymore.
All right.
So who's the career rushing leader?
Is it Emmett?
Yeah, it is Emmett.
Yeah.
I should know that. And then DJ in Nolensville says, I doubt we will ever see another 2,000-yard single-season rusher in the NFL again. And you say you think there will be more.
There'll be more because there's 17 games, and then you get a good running back, you're going to wear him down towards the end of that. I go back to watching Chris Johnson when he got 2,000 yards in, was it 2009 or 10, whatever it was?
9.
Jeff Fisher, when that season was, they knew they weren't going to go anywhere with about 5-6 games left. He just fed Chris Johnson the football. I mean, he just kept getting the ball over and over and over. It was not about winning at that time. It was about, I firmly believe, about getting Chris Johnson 2,000 yards. And he would have had a lot more had he not some phantom holding call gotten called back in that Seahawks game at the end of the season. So I think it was I think there will be more. I don't think that's gone.
Here's why I don't think it's a crazy thing to say no, because you have so many. NFL's a copycat league, right?
Okay.
So everybody's trying to find the next Christian McCaffrey or Deebo Samuel, a guy that's going to do both. And so if you have somebody that has, I mean, I don't know what the record for all-purpose yards is. I think Derek used to have it, but I need to look that up. But that's the one I think you should pay attention to, is because you're going to have guys that can catch the ball and run the ball more and are more diverse and not just a straight-up runner like a Derrick Henry. You may be right. There probably will be another one, but the running back position is changing so much, and that's why they're fighting to get more money and think they're undervalued and underpaid. But it's finding those guys that can do more than just run the ball.
Our man Derek Mason's 19th on the list, because you got to remember you're doing all-purpose. You got to include rushing, receiving. And Jerry Rice.
What did he have? He had a record.
Was it single season? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe it was single season.
Because Jerry Rice is all purpose.
That's what I'm thinking.
23,000. Because you add in everything else that goes on top of that with rushing, receiving, everything else, and it happens. So
I think that's what it was. 2,000. I think he had single season because of special teams.
Yeah, that's it.
Because of his return, and then he was over 1,000 yards receiving.
Yeah, so that's a record. But I do think there'll be more. I think it always comes around, goes around. I think there'll be more rushing. That'll come back in 4 to 5 years, and everybody jumps off the ship, and they go back in, and everything else. So it flips. So I think it'll be no problem with that. But there's God, these texts are flying in. I'll let you read them. All right.
Oh, I know. Joey Chestnut hot dog eating contest from Benjamin, who also said Harlem Globetrotters win streak.
Did they not get beat to the Generals a couple years ago?
They've lost to the Generals before.
Yeah.
That's why the Krusty the Clown thing is so funny, because the guy looks at him and goes, "You bet everything you have on the Globetrotters to lose." I thought the Generals were due. He's standing there spinning the ball.
Oh, my goodness. And there's a record. The Chicago Bears, 6 ties in a season. The 1932 Bears finished their season at 7-1-6.
I would hate that. I would be so freaking
I wonder if they were
mad.
coached by – but you can't – because that's not allowed anymore. So there's no
Yeah.
Well, there are ties.
Yeah, there are ties, and there shouldn't be ties.
I think
Ties are
of college
stupid.
football.
They
Yeah.
should go away. In professional sports especially, ties should never exist. Even in soccer, no draws. There should be a winner.
Richard Petty, 27 wins in a season.
Yeah, and 200 career wins. But
27.
Well, because they raced like 60 races a year, because they would.
Oh, okay.
They would race like through the week too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They need to bring that back.
I would love that. They did it during COVID. It was great. They did like some Wednesday night races under the lights. I'm like, this is again, which goes back to yesterday, like ending the season sooner. You know, think about this. You come to Nashville for a week. You race at the fairgrounds Wednesday night, or you at the Super Speedway Wednesday night, whatever you want to do, and then you're at the other one.
I think they should get everybody the same car.
They do.
Like, you know, a 2008 Chevy Impala. And here you go. That's your car. That's your car you got to race.
So you're saying you go to an actual stock car?
Just no, a regular.
There's nothing stock about a stock car.
Is there not?
No, that's a line from a movie.
What movie is that?
Days of Thunder.
Oh, okay.
Which I would
great
actually
movie. There's a great line in that movie that I use all the time.
There's a lot of great lines in that movie.
He's got a concussion at the end, and Nicole Kidman doesn't want him to race.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You had a concussion. Tell him what will happen." And he looks at her and says, "Claire, I'm more afraid of being a nobody than I am of being hurt."
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
It's a great line. It's a great line. See,
I was actually down there when they filmed that movie, by the way.
Daytona Beach?
That was one of my 9 spring breaks I went on. Nice. True story. Me and the coach were down there for that.
Nice.
No, it's not nice that you go to 9 spring breaks.
Hey, look at you. He's a coach in Division I football,
right?
And you're doing a show with me.
Yeah, well, somebody won that that battle. We're good.
615-737-1025. That is our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. More of your texts on our question of the day, and also getting into the Titans coming up next as they take on the Cincinnati Bengals. I heard Jared ask the question yesterday because Mike Vrabel always says, got to play better, got to coach better. Are they actually coaching better this week? We'll discuss next. 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Nashville's radio version of The Odd Couple.
You would trade for the third pick? Yeah, I don't know that I would do that.
Robbie Stanley and Joe Rexrode are Robbie and Rexrode.
I'm here for the discussion. I'm not. It's a good one.
It's absurd. Robbie and Rexrode. Mornings from 6 to 9.
Win the games. When they get in the playoff, they'll have a chance to.
Presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks is always adding exciting cocktails to the menu, like the expertly balanced Sincoro Hall of Fame Margarita. Try it at your local lodge today.
The Nashville Oktoberfest is quickly approaching, and now's the time to get your dirndls, Lederhosen, and Party Steins ready. From local breweries to live music and festival artisans, you can't go wrong celebrating this free family fun Germantown tradition. The Nashville Oktoberfest 2023, Thursday, October 5th through the 8th at Bicentennial Mall in Germantown. Prepare yourself for 4 days of brats, beer, live music, and competitions. VIP experience reservations are still available at thenashvilleoktoberfest.com. Prost, y'all!
Actor Portrayal, based on a real patient experience.
I'm Mike. I'm a husband, proud father of 2, work my butt off 6 days a week, some nights too. When my family or my company needs me to make it happen, I make it happen. But a few months ago, I started having trouble making it happen, in the bedroom. I tried some pills online, but they didn't work. Honestly, I thought about throwing in the towel on my sex life, but I'm not that old. I still want to enjoy intimacy with my wife. Like that poet said, I don't want to just go gently into that good night. So I went to the Tennessee Men's Clinic in Franklin. Got some lab work done, was prescribed some meds, and wow, it made it happen. I can't say enough about them. Their providers took care of me, followed up, and made sure I had a treatment plan that actually works. It's awesome. If I were you, and you're like me, I'd give them a call today, 615-208-9090, or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. If you're like most guys, they'll make it happen for you too.
Visit our website to learn more, including side effects. Treatments extra. Results vary.
Smashville, Predators hockey is back. And you don't want to miss the biggest party on Broadway as we celebrate 25 years of Smashville all season long. Get your tickets now for opening night on October 12th as your Nashville Predators face off against the Seattle Kraken. Secure your seats now for the home opener at NashvillePredators.com/single-game-tickets. That's NashvillePredators.com/single-game-tickets. Let's go, Preds.
ESPN Plus Originals and Anscape presents.
I am Dr. Ibram X. Kendi. I am known as a scholar and anti-racist author. It's up to all of us to confront the racism in society and our favorite sports.
A roundtable discussion and analysis exploring the intersection of sports, race, and society.
Because we all have skin in the game.
ESPN Plus Originals and Anscape presents Skin in the Game with Dr. Ibram X. Kendi. All episodes now streaming on ESPN Plus.
Hey, we love to hear from you. Give us a call on the phone line, sponsored by Wilson County Hyundai.
Yes, I'm looking for a friend of mine. Last name Jazz, first name Hugh.
615-737-1025.
Hugh Jazz. Chase and Big Joe are on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Mike, you talk always after losses about players needing to play better and coaches needing to coach better. What are some ways that the coaches have attacked this week to coach better?
Well, trying to get everybody to understand the full concept of the play, you know, as we continue to grow and you know, work. It's about just understanding that, you know, there's an idea to the play, not just your job in particular, something that I've been harping on and trying to get get through, you know, and understand that, you know, how do we get them to play faster and understand the overall concept of every play and not just maybe, you know, blocking this guy, or why are we tossing the ball in this certain play, or why do you have to protect the B gap, you know, versus pressure or something like that.
That's a good one. Mike Vrabel yesterday, play better, coach better. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. I loved this theme back in the day.
Does he say that every week? I feel like he says that same thing every week.
He does. It's like Beverly Hills 90210. It's every week.
I've seen every episode of that show times 10.
They tried to bring it back, and it's just
awful.
Just terrible.
Yeah, it was awful.
Did you know that Luke Perry's son is a wrestler in AEW now?
I did not know that until you told me that.
Yep. Looks just like him, too. Just has long hair.
That's when I looked him up, I was like, holy cow. Then
Yeah,
I should have known, since his name's Jack Perry.
Yeah, Jack Perry. Yeah.
I should have known all that right there.
Jungle Jack Perry or something like that. But so you hear that, and, you know, Jared, I thought, asked the right question. I mean, you know, it's a thing Vrabel says. And I was listening to Jared, you know, kind of give his thoughts on what he thought the answer meant yesterday. And I kind of wonder, like, how accountable do you think the coaches are? Like, and they're sitting in the meetings and they're going through the film and they're like, yeah, we probably should have called a better play there. Like, what do you think those conversations are like within those walls that we will never hear?
I think Vrabel would probably say that to the offense, like, what were you thinking here? What were you doing here? Why did we do that? But I think it's more on the players. Like, we had this play called. Why didn't you block that? I mean, it's. I was in a film room one time. This is college, so this is nowhere near the NFL.
Terry Bowden.
And we had a linebacker who they'd call the play in, and he was awful. He had an awful game. He lined up in the wrong gap and everything. And this coach just kept, every time, it was like 9 plays in a row, and it got worse. We all started laughing because it was just hilarious. And the coach made us run for laughing at him. So I'm saying they'll take a little blame for it, but overall they're going to blame the player. For, we got you in the right position. Why didn't you block this guy? You saw the you know, they ran a stunt. Why didn't the center not pick it up? They're not going to take a lot of blame. Vrabel probably dished a lot of blame to the assistant coaches, but overall, it's going to fall on the players like it always does.
Right. I mean, because, you know, you can call the play and create the scheme. You have to run it right.
Correct.
You have to execute.
Yeah.
You know, that's another hot word that coaches like to use, execute.
And I guarantee if you go back and look, there's probably 10 plays in the Browns games. Like, you know, if you'd have blocked this guy and you picked this stunt up, it'd have been a touchdown. It's every single play you can go through that. It's not a problem.
No.
So they did that.
So, yeah, and look, because we talked about this yesterday, I think this narrative of Vrabel's seat being hot, I mean, I'm not ready to go there yet. I still trust Mike Vrabel as the head coach. I think as time goes on, how is the message being received?
Right.
That's going to be the big thing for me. But right now, I think the players are buying into it still. It's just, can they execute what they want to do?
Look, you win Sunday, you're 2-2, you're feeling good about yourself. Then you beat the Colts, then you're 3-2, and you're back in charge of the division.
Exactly.
So I love the overreaction. Everybody overreacts. I overreact. You overreact. Everybody overreacts. But you go out and you beat the Bengals on Sunday. Now you're 2-2. But now we got the whole it's back on track again. So
but have you seen enough through 3 games that make you feel like, yeah, that's all going to happen?
No, because I think there's a lot of questions with the offensive line.
Bingo. It all comes back to the guys up front.
Yeah.
And, I'm not even – like, if Peter Skoronski's back, then I do think that makes a difference because even in one game, I'm like, all right, I actually saw some good things out of him.
Yeah.
And that takes pressure off of Dillard.
But he came back from appendectomy?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, which, I mean, how bad is that? Like, you're one game into your NFL career and then that happens.
Well, if you're the Bengals, why would you not try to do a low blow, hit him in the
of course you will.
The stomach, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
football's a violent sport.
It is. Like,
hell, son, kissing your girlfriend's a contact sport.
Right.
It's a violent sport. The times I hear that in my life. Goodness.
Well, I remember, like, in practice one day, I'm like watching the O-line, and I hear the O-line coach yelling at a guy, that's just getting beat every play. And he pulls him aside, and he whispers in his ear, and then the next 3 plays, like, he wins. And I'm like, what did you tell him? And and coach looks at me and goes, I'm not going to tell you. And then I figured it out during the game. He's hitting him in the
hitting where the sun don't shine.
The giblets.
There. Yeah. I get it. We had a discussion before we came on the air about blowouts, right?
Yeah.
In the NFL. Do you know what the tied for number one, the biggest because we're talking about the Dolphins dropping 70 on the Broncos. The biggest blowout in NFL history, do you know what it is?
I don't.
Man.
Should I?
Once I tell you, you'll be like, oh, yeah.
Is it the Titans game, the big snow game, 60-3 or whatever it was?
59-0 is the number one blowout in the history
with the Patriots?
Of the NFL.
That was a throwback uniforms that game.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Both of them.
So
fantastic.
It's the Oilers.
Yep.
Yeah.
No. It was the Titans.
No. It was the Oilers. They were dressed as the Oilers.
Yes.
2009. Same franchise, though.
I know. I'm kidding.
And they tied. The Rams beat the Falcons 59-0 in 1976. But the Titans and the Patriots, 59-0.
So 59-0. That was 2009, right?
That's the biggest blowout. Not the most points, but the biggest margin.
That game right there was the end of the Jeff Fisher era. Even though it took another year, that to me was the beginning of the end.
That's also the game where Chris Johnson had 100 yards rushing. And
isn't that amazing that he had 100 yards rushing and they lost 59-0?
It is. So after the game, I think I've told this story. Go in the locker room. Michael Griffin was awful that day. Awful that day. And I went in the locker room, and Mark Howard and I got Griffin in his locker. And Mark said, hey, man, do you want to talk about what happened? And the Griffin's like, yeah, man, well, it's more than a football game. I got in an argument with my daughter's mom. And he went this whole personal.
Oh, wow.
And it was like 2 minutes, and I was like, I stopped rolling. I'm like, this is odd.
Yeah.
And he said, I had some things going on off the field, and I couldn't stop thinking about him. And Randy Moss just took advantage of it.
That's right. I forgot Moss was
They couldn't stop him. And so that won 59-0. I actually felt sorry for Michael Griffin after that interview because it was like, my goodness, what's going on there? Yeah, that's the biggest. And the Titans are also tied for the number 19th biggest blowout. That's the Green Bay 55-7 game up in Lambeau in 2012, right before Christmas. That's it. So there's
your
Titans
NFL history, Titans Oilers.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But yeah, I mean, to your point, and like Jameson says on our text line, the Colts defensive line is going to dominate the Titans offensive line. I mean, right now, I feel like if you got somewhat of a pass rush, then you probably will. Like, I'm worried about this defensive front in Cincinnati with Trey Hendrickson.
Why are you worried about them for, buddy?
Because I mean, like, they could get through anything, or they could get through this offensive line right now.
But anybody could. But you know you got the problem, so implement a game plan to get around that.
Yeah, and that's where, when we talk about Tim Kelly, I think Tim Kelly's been fine as the play caller. Last week, I would say I wanted to see more use the tight end as an extra blocker, like have Chig chip or put Wesco in or whatever. I mean, they're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to give the offensive line some help.
Yeah, you're gonna have to, and don't try to be cool and block some guy to 1-on-1. Just sit there and get the job done and get the ball out. You got to get the ball out in space. That's why with the Tajay Spears, I like that. I mean, he's a guy that gets around the edge, gets out in space, can create things. But you got to be able to do that. If not, you're going to see the same old we saw against the Browns last week. And then Burrow's going to sit back there and pick apart that very average Titan secondary.
Yep. And average is a good way to put it.
It is a good way to put it.
They're going to have to get, somebody to step up and make a play, and I just don't know who it is. I mean, even Kevin Byard, I think it was Robbie and Rexford were talking about it the other day, that Byard maybe has lost a step or half a step.
Right.
Which comes with age. I mean, he's still a good player by every account, but you can tell. I mean, you can tell that something's fallen off a little bit.
Let me ask you this. So here's a guy, Byard, who's beloved, right? And then, his teammates love him. He's a captain. Everything else. And then the Titans go to him and say, take a pay cut, right? Allegedly, whatever that thing was. How does that affect guys around him? Like, I'm going to play my butt off, but am I going to be asked, what's the reward for me here? I mean, does that matter at all? Am I overlooking things?
I don't know. I don't know if I think you might be.
If they're going to treat the best player like that, how are they going to treat me?
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I think some guys think about that, but I don't know if he does. Was that Jeff Fisher?
No, I was just I don't know. I remember when Pac-Man was banned from the locker room in 06 or 07, I forget what it was. And then when they let him back in the locker room, he came in just raising hell, right?
Yeah.
It was after practice, screaming at everybody. And he says, I got a brand new Bentley. And everybody went outside. All the players went outside to look at the Bentley. And I think at the time the Titans were not doing well.
Yeah.
And it was just this overtook everything. It's like, hey, it was kind of a thing like, man, I want a Bentley. And that all came back, and I was like, oh, man, I think Pac-Man showing off what he's got was something for these players to say, like, oh, I want to do that. And that was like all they could talk about.
Right.
It's like, man.
What was it that a few weeks ago? Was it Bryce Young that got a new car and Brady was on a podcast and said, yeah, he needs to quit worrying about driving and be in the film room or something like that?
Or was it Sanders, Colorado quarterback, wasn't it?
Maybe it was Sanders. Yeah. It was one of these young quarterbacks. I can't remember who it was, but Brady was basically like, yeah, nobody gives a bleep about your car.
I'll tell you I did a thing with Bobby Wade one time, former Titans, played with the Bears, former Titans punt returner, wide receiver. He said one time they used to put your copy of your check in your locker, right? You get paid 16 times a season, whatever it was. And somebody took Brian Urlacher's check, and they were like, don't open it. Don't open. You don't want to see what he makes. You might think you know. You don't want to know, right? And they opened it. And it was like, he's like 15 guys like, oh, man, he makes that. He don't deserve that. And he goes, you can just tell right then. It just went right through the locker room.
Yeah.
People
you're
like,
right. I mean, look, you're right. It's going to affect some people better than others.
It does.
I mean, I think that goes for anything.
Don't look at my check.
I don't.
Stay away. Because I don't want you laughing at me.
6-1. It was Sanders. Thank you. 2883. 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll get to Dylan's question coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Attention all commercial plumbing and HVAC experts. Tennessee's fastest growing commercial plumbing and HVAC company is looking for experienced technicians like you to help service their commercial and industrial customers. Tired of working for your large corporate employer? Work for a company where you're more than just a number. Jarrett Plumbing and HVAC is owned and operated by Nashville natives and want to invite you to grow with their amazing team.
Hi, I'm Jason Jarrett, owner of Jarrett Companies. I'm looking to hire experienced technicians and will offer a sign-on bonus of up to $5,000 for certified professionals. In addition to our great benefits that include a 401k match, PTO, and top-of-the-line pay with annual bonuses, we'll also provide you with top-of-the-line tools, trucks, and equipment that you need to grow your career. Our customer base is large and our business is booming with many opportunities for advancement. Give us a call or go online to JarrettCompaniesInc.com and apply today to become a member of our family and serve our community. That's JARRETT CompaniesInc.com. Jarrett Companies, where we are above and beyond industry standards.
Football is back, and so are the deals at Electronic Express. Come into any of our convenient locations and save big on 4K TVs from your favorite brands like Samsung, LG, Sony, and more. This week at Electronic Express, save up to 40% in every department, including computers, appliances, smart home, Bluetooth speakers, and more. Plus, get up to 60 months special financing. Score amazing deals in-store or online at electronicexpress.com. Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Get ready to elevate your game day experience. Titans fans, it's all happening at Mimo Bar on Titans Terrace. Just a short walk from the bridge at First and Demumbrian. They've got your epic pregame and postgame covered with their Italian classics and sensational cocktails. Your senses will be on a joyride. And hey, listen to this. Everyone at the Titans Terrace gets a chance to bag a Gibson Guitars merch bundle, a $100 Mimo postgame gift card, or a weekend brunch for two. So why wait? Mimo Bar, where Nashville's heritage meets Italian flavor.
Blue Raider fans, your home for all the MTSU football and men's basketball action is on 93.3 Classic Hits and 95.1 Classic Hits in the borough. Catch the action all season long with Chip Walters on the call. Go Blue Raiders!
So, if there's brunch, why isn't there dinner?
Or dunch, for that matter.
No, we know why there's no dunch.
Why is that?
People might get confused and miss brunch.
And I never want to miss a brunch this good.
Me either. Cheers.
Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Breakfast buffet Monday through Thursday from 7 till 10:30 a.m. and lunch from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Weekend brunch Friday through Sunday from 7 a.m. till 2 p.m. featuring cast iron pancakes, made-to-order waffles, and eggs and carafes of mimosas. Treat yourself today to Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
You're listening to the Chase and Big Joe Show.
I could pull a better cartoon out of my ass. Hey, whoa! Wasn't that great, kids?
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
A TV-themed Thursday here on Chase and Big Joe. This one was one from my childhood for sure.
I bet you sat in front with your popcorn and watched and
I did.
Giggled.
You can make fun of me all you want. I did. I loved this show. And I will tell you, people ask me, and you probably get asked this too, like in what we do, we get to meet cool people and famous people.
Sure.
People will always ask me, like, have you met so-and-so, or who's the coolest person that you've interviewed or met or whatever. One of the nicest and most genuine people that I've ever got to meet in this job was Bob Saget. He was so cool and came up here, and it was probably a year or so before he passed.
Right.
He came up. In fact, there's a cup in the Buzz office that they wrote on it, Bob Saget drank out of this cup that they have in there. But he was so cool, took pictures with everybody, you know, told stories about Full House and John Stamos and the Olsons and, you know, working with them and Half Baked. And because he has, I can't say it on radio, but he has like the funniest line in the movie Half Baked. You remember that?
I do not.
Have you seen that movie with Dave Chappelle?
A long time ago.
So basically they're in like a drug users anonymous or whatever. And Chappelle's up there talking about that he's addicted to smoking weed. And all of these like hard drug users are making fun of him, and Bob has the cameo and has the line of what he did for cocaine.
Oh, that's right.
And it's so like it's Danny Tanner saying this, which is
oh, that's exactly right.
But he was awesome. He was so cool.
So he blocked me one time on Twitter.
Why?
Because it was like a chain of people that were blocked, and so I had him on a radio show. And I said, hey, man, you can Google SoundCloud, Bob Saget, and me.
Was this after here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he unblocks me. He's like, I don't know why I unblocked you. And then we did a whole thing.
That was probably the same day he came here because he was in town at Zany's.
Somebody was ripping him, and it was like 8 other people were tagged on it. And that's the same way I got blocked by Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
He's soft. So, but Bob unblocked me on air.
That's awesome.
So if you look at my Twitter account, God rest his soul, Bob Saget follows me on Twitter, and he couldn't at the time pick me out of a lineup, which is fine. But
Elliot has the line.
No, we're ready to Chase. But no, I mean McAfee blocked me, which Vince Young blocked me.
Like, what do you? Well, okay. Listen, if you follow you on Twitter at Big Joe on the Go, by the way,
it's humorous.
No,
we have a
it's
good
humorous.
Time. We like to laugh.
But like I think it's hilarious. how you do things. Like especially if you're like, I just talked to Vince Young and man, he is fired up. Except this Vince Young runs a coffee shop in Gallatin.
Well, my favorite one was Julio Jones. Like I just talked to Julio Jones, and he works at Discount Tire in Lebanon, and people are like, oh, Cal, what's going on? You didn't talk to him. I'm like, read the whole thing.
I am curious. Speaking of Gallatin, you worked for somebody one time that couldn't point it out on a map.
I did.
Have they ever figured that out? Or?
He now works in Phoenix. I was told to do more stories in Gallatin, and I said, okay, do me a favor, turn around your map, point out Gallatin for me. And he said, I can't, you got me. And then, then if you're going to be a boss in this city of a TV station, you need to know where things are and not just have some consultant tell you where to go. And so that was it.
Yep.
Needless to say, he and I didn't see eye to eye. So that's one of those things. But
you were taller than him, so
that's okay. That's all right. But it's all good. I landed here on my feet with you and Dr. Crane.
So here's the text from Dylan, and I have my thought, and I want to get your thought on this.
Okay.
Hey, Chase and Joe. Hey, Dylan.
Hey, Dylan.
Do you think the Titans should try and mimic San Francisco's offense? Because our roster is not going to overwhelm anyone physically. So what if we try tricking the defense with motion and getting them to flow in wrong directions and stuff like that and cause them to make mental errors rather than us try to go head-to-head physically? I love this concept, but there's two very key pieces that are missing three key pieces that are missing in this equation. And I'm not picking on Dylan, but this is what always happens. Like you get somebody from another organization that's had success. So Rand Carthon comes from San Francisco to the Titans, and everybody thinks like, oh, here we go.
But how much did he do?
49.
How much?
I think he had a lot to do with Brock Purdy because he was the guy that was scouting, the 6th, 7th round. So I'll give him that. But it's just like when John Robinson and Mike Vrabel got here. It's like, oh, yeah, we're going to be the Patriots. Let's go. Going to win all these championships. Everybody does that. The key thing, though, is you don't have, 1, a good offensive line, 2, Christian McCaffrey, 3, Deebo Samuel. They're able to do those things because Deebo can run it, he can catch it downfield, and same goes for Christian McCaffrey. Hell, he can even throw it.
Well, language.
Sorry. But you got to have those dynamic playmakers, and you don't have that. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly right. So
and they don't grow on trees.
Yeah, I mean, that's great in theory to mimic another team and try to what they're doing and if it's going to apply to you. But, no, look, and I heard Robbie and Rexler talk about this earlier. I mean, Tannehill game 1 was an F, right? Game 2, he was an A. So what if we get an A Tannehill? What if they get an A Tannehill on Sunday? And now you're back to 2-2, and you utilize the receivers. And everybody comes through, and you got Chris Moore and Burks and DeAndre Hopkins and the tight ends and Henry rolling. I mean, it's formidable.
But is an A Tannehill good enough? I mean, I don't think he was terrible on Sunday. He just had no help.
He had no help, had no time.
Right. I mean, but Sunday's not on Ryan Tannehill. The only game this season that's on Ryan Tannehill is New Orleans.
That's right. And they ended up losing by a point.
Right.
And I get all that. But if Tannehill can give you a solid B on Sunday, I think you win the ball game. It's up to that defense. That defense guy, I mean, you get the Browns had 27 points.
Get to Burrow. Burrow is hobbled. He's not 100%. He's not going to be 100%. They're on a short week with that calf. And that offensive line is not very good either because for whatever reason the Bengals are like, we'll get around to it eventually.
Well, they dumped some money in the offense. They put some money in that. Somebody said
they did, but they got guys that have been hurt.
Right.
And,
that's the problem. So, again, that's the game plan every week is get to the quarterback and get to Burrow and get him, shook up what's going on. But it's tough to rattle that dude.
I'm going to look this up. This guy keeps calling me. That's so annoying.
Sean Henry, we're busy.
No, it's not him. It's this guy trying to sell me tickets to Talladega. Like, I can't go.
Sean's got a part-time job selling okay. All right,
yes.
Well,
that's it.
I need to hit him up for some.
How many sacks do the Titans? Are they averaging like 3 a game?
You're asking the wrong guy. Let's say 3 a game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what it is. If they get to Burrow 3 times this week.
But you know what
stat
I like? I like quarterback hits. I know sacks are good, but I also like hits. I'm not a big fan of targeting receivers. He targeted this guy 9 times. No, give me completions. But hits is actually a physical stat where you're putting the quarterback either on his butt or something. I like that.
All right, 13 total, 4.3 a game according to Dr. Crane. Thank you, Dr. Crane.
Not bad. I'll take 4. Any team will take 4 sacks a game.
If you get
back there.
If I tell you that I've jumped in the DeLorean and I went to Sunday and I came back and all I told you was Joe Burrow got sacked four times in the game, do you think they win or lose?
I'm indifferent. I think I need more from you.
You need me to go back in the DeLorean and
I mean that's what she said. I need more from you. I need more from you because I just think you got sacked 4 times. Because you get sacked 4 times. I need to know, I don't know, maybe quarterback rating would help. I know you gave me a lot of information there.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, yeah, a 55 quarterback rating.
So okay, let's say pressures. Trying to figure out where that stat is. Like how many times he's pressured in a game. Like if they're getting to him.
I like hits. I don't like pressures. Every quarterback's under pressure.
But if you're pressuring him, like if you're
give me a hit. I need you to be hit.
But even with the pressure, if he's about to be hit,
I don't like that.
He's not concentrating on where the throw goes, and he can make a mistake. That's where you give the secondary an opportunity to make a play.
But some of the greatest quarterbacks will tell you that they understand pressure on every play. It doesn't matter. When Brady's that said, I felt pressure every play, but when I'm getting hit, I feel that. So that's where I take that away from because he said that, and I just think when you're getting hit on every pass, it's like, God, I'm going to get hit in this pass. I know pressure's coming, but I'm going to get hit on every pass.
615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Elliot. He just texted again.
Hi, Elliot.
Elliot's our best friend.
He loves us. That is for sure. Hey, check out Big Joe and Chip Walters tonight on 93.3 Classic Hits for MTSU football. The Blue Raiders will kick off at 6:30 on the road against rival Western Kentucky. 100 miles of hate. Pre-game beginning at 5:30, and you can hear it all on 93.3 Classic Hits app and 93.3classichits.com. It's Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
This is it. The legendary live band Fish returns to the road this fall. Fish, Friday, October 6th, Saturday, October 7th, and Sunday, October 8th, Bridgestone Arena. On sale now at livenation.com. All of us at 102.5 and 106.3 The Game want to recognize our active military, veterans, first responders, and educators with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glow, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
This is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. Now, your Game Center update.
This is Nick Frazier, and this Game Center update is brought to you by BetUS Sportbook and Casino, celebrating 30 years with a special offer, up to 30 risk-free bets, and the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus. Get started at BetUS.com. The Nashville Predators lost in a close one last night in overtime versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, 2-1. In the third period, Tommy Novak got on the score sheet.
1 minute remaining on the Nashville power play, trailing 1-0. Novak scores! Tommy Novak rips one into the left circle. And the Predators have a tie at 1.
Tune in on Saturday as the Nashville Predators go on the road to face the Tampa Bay Lightning. You can listen to the game right here on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
For more, follow us on Twitter at 1025thegame or visit thegamenashville.com. Live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. WPRT FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne. Nashville's exclusive home for the Nashville Predators. 1025 and 1063.
79-52 Vanderbilt.
And I think he's going to coach
Shot
up
by Sherrill.
You're going to see more moves. The Game.
A Cromwell Media Station.
Let me talk to you. Talking what's important to Nashville.
Sweet mother of God, what is the holdup?
This is the Chase and Big Joe Show.
Well, Lottie frickin' God!
With Chase McCabe and Big Joe Dubin.
Good, great, grand, wonderful.
We're here on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hour number 2, Chase and Big Joe. 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chase McCabe, Big Joseph Dubin. Also, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier. TV Theme Thursday. Get back to that in a few minutes. Was just laughing at Half Baked, Dave Chappelle, Bob Saget. Rest in peace.
Right.
Such a good movie.
It was mid-90s when that came out, I think.
Yeah, either late, well, could have been early 2000s.
Well, you're watching it when you look it up right there.
Well, it's on YouTube. It didn't
okay.
It didn't tell me the year.
We'll revisit our topic that we have today. A lot of response on this because coming off last night's Ronald Acuna becoming the charter member of the 40-70 club, and it got us talking. What other sport? It's a summer topic, but it's relevant till today. What other sports
it's only a
records?
summer topic if you say it's a summer topic.
There we
It
go.
can be a topic anytime we want it to be.
Well,
a
it's
topic.
relevant because what happened last night. So, what sports record?
Don't let consultants or Jared tell you it's a summer topic.
What sports record will never be broken? And right now, the Gretzky one's at the top with the one with all the points that he had in there. And there's all kind of things that are rolling in here. Like, I don't think there'll never be another unbeaten NFL team. Even at 14-0, there'll never be one because it's just so tough now, and the parity's going to happen. But my main one is DiMaggio's 56-game hit streak will not be touched because once you get 35, even when you hit 30, I remember Jerome Walton for the Cubs hit 30 his rookie year many years ago, and the media just swarmed him, and it ended shortly after that. So can you imagine once you hit 50, all the media attention that would be swarming around you? It'd be the questions.
Yeah, but I mean,
nonstop.
it's just like, everybody talks about when a guy's pitching a no-hitter, you don't talk to him, you leave him alone. Like, I mean, it's the mental toughness. You just have to power through it. I mean, that's easier said than done. I get it, and you're right, but just go out there and do your thing. That's what at the end of the day, it's what you have to do.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's
what I tell you when we're going through the buffet. Like, come on,
hang out with.
Just do it.
The longest batting streak in baseball currently is William Contreras. The Brewers has 12 games.
William Contreras. Yes.
Contreras. Well, then
don't be a contrarian.
Ronald Acuna has 9-game hitting streak.
Yep.
The longest this season is Marcus Semien of the Rangers. I butcher his name too. He had 25. Freddie Freeman had 20. Not bad.
It's not bad, but he's not on my team anymore, so screw him.
Okay, so DiMaggio had 56. Oh, Willie Kaler for the Orioles had 45 back in 1897.
You had his poster.
I did. Hey, Willie, did you get a hit today? Yeah, I got 2, in matter of fact. Put me down for 2 hits. Pete Rose had...
yeah, Willie got 2 hits today. We'll give him 3 because he's a nice guy.
Pete had 44. Pete Rose in 1978. Remember, he was gifted one by... I know there's somebody out in our audience that was at that game when Pete Rose got the gift from the Atlanta Braves scoring chart when he had a fielder's choice and he should have been out at first base.
George was probably there.
And something like that, yeah. But, I mean, 42 games. Bill Dolan, 1894.
Loved Bill Dolan.
Bill was great. Good guy.
He's still on MLB The Show.
He made
I'll
a
use
fortune in his textile mills. It was good. George Sisler had 41 in 1922.
It's a good one.
It's good. He lost everything in the Depression of 27 or 29.
I mean, look, we laugh at like this era, but one of my all-time favorite documentaries is the Ken Burns of baseball. It's so
Good.
well done.
Yeah, it's well done.
And he
It
did
is.
the 10th inning, probably 10, 15 years ago. So I'm hoping there's an 11th inning at some point.
What about a simple one like this? And I watched it last night because I was bored. Will there be another two-sport athlete to the level of Dion and Bo?
Oh, that's a great one. No, because they won't allow it. The NFL won't allow it.
Have you seen the one with Dion and the battle he did with John Schuerholz and Stan Casson for the Braves?
Yeah.
I mean, they were like, and Dion's like, look, man, these kids out there are I'm being something for them right now. They can realize that this is possible.
Dion was so awesome with the Braves, and like the chop and everything is because he brought it from Florida State.
Man.
But that because he was with the Falcons and the Braves at the same time. I miss those days, and it'll never. And then he went to the Reds, played for the Reds for a little bit.
They got mad and traded him. They said they
never happen again because the NFL won't allow it. That is it. It's not baseball. Baseball would welcome it. Baseball would be because like remember when Russell Wilson was earlier in his career, he went to camp.
Yeah, that's right, he did.
Was it the Yankees or
Yankees? I think he was with the Texans originally, or Texas Rangers originally, and then got
it's
traded.
whoever had his rights. And I mean, like Kyler Murray is another. See, here's something that I will bring up that is going to be close to this, but not the same. Kyler Murray's NFL career is about to flame out. Like I know he got the money, but he's apparently just difficult to deal with, and had this whole thing with his contract about him playing video games or whatever. So let's say it flames out after this year. Could he not just go to baseball?
See, why not?
I could totally see him trying.
Tebow tried for many years.
Tebow tried, and I mean,
but I don't fault the guy. If you think he could play, go play.
But the problem is Tebow waited so long to try. Like Kyler's still young. Kyler could say screw it now and then go.
Yeah, somebody told me Golden Tate's trying minor league baseball out in the West Coast. That's what I was told.
I think he was drafted
a few weeks ago. Told me that. So
I would love to see it. Now, like a quarterback, okay, probably, you probably wouldn't see that. But like somebody like Dion or Bo Jackson, Bo was a running back, played outfield? They both played outfield, I guess.
But I think now it'd have to be you'd want him in the same because the Titans if the Titans had a Dion, you're going to miss him until that season's over with. You know, I mean, you're not.
Well, you have to pick what's going to be your primary sport. Like with Dion, he played in the spring and the summer, and then when the NFL started, he went and played NFL.
But
but you didn't have him for the playoffs and those things.
Came back in the World Series.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah,
it's great because he's talking about they bitched me through the playoff, but then the Yankees were pitching not the Yankees, the Blue Jays were pitching David Cone, and I was batting 600 to David Cone. They were not going to bench me, and he just shredded the Blue Jays in the World Series. But you look at those two
with the DH, it might help things.
True,
because now you can just say he doesn't play in the field; he's just going to hit.
But I mean, you think about how long could have Bo Jackson kept it if he didn't have that hip injury against the Bengals? I mean, that just because that was awful. It wasn't even that bad of a tackle, but you can see when he pulled his hip out, it was like, oh my goodness, he was never the same after that. Football wise, how amazing he would be going forward. I mean, it's in the history of those two guys, Dion and Bo. Good Lord, I think we'll ever see talent like that at that level again. It'd be tough.
0247 says, unfortunately, Dion and Bo is not a pro sports record, not the question asked.
He's right.
That's right.
Look, man, it's like you're going to the beach, but you stop off at Buc-ee's. All right, it's not part of the itinerary. Yeah. You just stop off at Buc-ee's.
We don't have a script.
Yeah, you stop off at Buc-ee's, and you got your beaver nuggets, and now you're on your way to Panama City to get stuck in traffic outside of Montgomery.
Mike Dubb says the best chance for a two-sport athlete would be for a player to play 5 seasons in one sport like football and then switch to another like baseball.
It'd have to be concurrently, right? We want the one at the same
But
time.
see, you know what else I would love to see? Like it doesn't have to be football and baseball. Like, what if a guy like Tom Glavine could have played hockey? He got drafted in the 5th round by the LA Kings. Like, I would have loved it if there had been like a couple seasons where and you do have overlap, but Glavine played some for the Kings and then pitched for the Braves. Like, how cool would that have been?
Yeah, that would have been – I'm trying to – now you got my mind racing to see what else would have happened. You know, LeBron talked about playing football.
LeBron totally could have been one that played basketball and played football.
But let LeBron go over the middle and let, like, you know, a Keith Bullock.
Right, and that's why it never happened.
And LeBron, like, that's why I played.
But, like, Jerry basically offered him a contract.
Something along those lines,
Yeah.
To do that. So, but I just don't see that happening. I mean, you could have a soccer and a kicker.
Oh, you know what? And this is good from Brandon from Spring Hill, and I should have brought this up too because there's another one that everybody forgets about, but he was pretty good too.
Hold on. Modern day?
Yeah.
Like currently or?
No, 90s.
90s. Baseball, football?
Mm-hmm.
Baseball, football. I don't know.
Well, one team had two guys that played two sports. Brian Jordan.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he played Falcons and Cardinals.
He did.
And then he went to the Braves.
Played college at Richmond. Sure did. Yeah.
He's another one. That's a good one. Thank you, Brandon, for bringing that up.
Gosh, I forgot about Brian Jordan.
Little update, though.
Huffy and Dixon says, wrong question, guy sounds miserable.
I know. We're going to go to Buc-ee's.
Get off my lawn.
Dr. Crane?
A little update on Golden Tate. Yes, the West Coast League 2022 stats. A 263 batting average. Not too bad. On-base percentage, 364. And slugging percentage, 368. So not too shabby.
Well, is he still doing it now? Because now we're deep into 23.
I don't have any stats on 23, but 22 is available.
Okay. Good job, Dr. Crane. So, yeah, there's one. So you could quit. So your Kyler Murray thing is because, you know, he had to give back his baseball money, and then he went to football. Now, if football's not doing it for him because Josh Dobbs hopefully takes his job, then he could say, all right, I'm going to play baseball now. And somebody will take him.
615-737-1025. Daryl wants to comment on our question of the day. Daryl, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not much.
I think the record that never be broken is Ricky Henderson's stolen bases record because you just don't see many teams putting much emphasis into the stolen base anymore. You got like Acuna. You got your guys that'll still 50, 60 a year, but I mean, with Acuna's history of leg injuries, how many times is he going to steal 70 in a year? And I'm a South Carolina fan. I follow Whit Merrifield. He played for us, and I think the most he ever stole was 40, and he led the league. But I think that's a record that'll never be broken. Enjoy the show. Hang up. Thanks.
No, Daryl, don't hang up.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
All right, turn the radio down. Don't hang up. But listen, I brought that stat up, but my good friend Chase McCabe informed me that Ricky Henderson, in fact, does not have the single season stolen base record. Daryl, did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that. But
Chase,
I probably
Chase
Lou Brock, I guess.
No, that's what we thought. Chase will tell you.
Hugh Nickel from 1887, 138.
Oh, wow. I mean, there's a name from another time.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think Ricky has the all-time, the career.
Yeah, but Daryl, we're with you, man. That's the one.
Thanks,
We'll honor Ricky's record, but Hugh Nickel's family is going to be mad at us.
I know. So I met Ricky Henderson one time.
I thought you were going to say you met Hugh Nickel.
I did not, but he was here with the Sounds. He was, when they were the affiliate of the A's,
right?
And so he'd come in for a series and everything, and it was the funniest because Jared was throwing out the first pitch, and it was like a Wednesday day game or something like that. And so I went down on the field with him to take video and pictures and stuff, and so Ricky Henderson is walking over and Jared's like, "Oh, hello, Mr. Henderson."
Oh no! Hello, Mr. Henderson. Yeah. I'm a big fan of yours.
It was fun. I was kind of the same way. I'm like, this is kind of a big deal. I mean, it's Ricky Henderson.
But that's almost.
He was cool. He was very nice.
So he tried 173 stolen attempts that year.
172.
172. That means once a game, he was trying to steal the base,
yep.
average wise.
Yep.
And he knew he was going to do it, and he had a 76% success rate.
Yep.
Even when he knew he was going to do it, that's next level, absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Now Lou Brock in 1974 had 118 on 151 attempts, so that's
86%.
No, 78.
So Lou did more. Well, I mean, anything over 100 is good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look. I mean, it's 172 attempts. I would say.
And that was 92.
82.
82
for Ricky.
Yeah. Okay.
He was 23 years old when he did it.
Okay.
Chase, do you think Acuna gets there to 100 at one point? in his career somewhere?
No, I actually think to Daryl's point, he's right because Acuna just has injury history. And now, like, you don't play every day. You know, I mean, back when Ricky Henderson was 23, he probably played almost every game. You know, so they don't do that anymore. So it'd be really difficult.
Oh, there's Ricky beat out Artie Latham of the St. Louis Cardinals, who same year, man, 1887. So you had Hugh Nickel for the Red Stockings battling. Oh my goodness, Artie Latham and Charles Comiskey also had 117. Did they have? Were there no pickoff attempts in 1887?
No, I guess not.
John Ward had 111 stolen bases that year.
Really?
Yeah.
And then he went and called Tennessee football.
One of the best ever.
It is the best ever. Let's see. Everybody's pointing out that, yes, we have talked about the Cal Ripken. I mean, that streak, the Iron Man streak will never be broken.
What is it, 2192?
Something like that. I don't know. Tim says, did you know this? Because I would not. Danny Ainge played for the Expos in the Bigs. People always forget that.
I know. I thought he played for the Blue Jays.
Well, I didn't even know he played Major League Baseball.
Yeah, he was a pretty good athlete coming out of BYU. Let's see.
So he played in baseball and NBA at the same time?
I don't think so. It's not telling me that he did at the same time. His first year with the Celtics was 81-82, and his last year for baseball was the fall of 81. So I guess right before his basketball career started. Last appearance was for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay.
He batted .220, hit 2 homers, and 40 runs batted in.
Jack's Majors record will never be broken.
What is it? 16?
I think it's 16, and Tiger's at like 13, maybe. Yeah, I don't think that one will be touched.
That's also, again, a lot of pressure to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a good one.
Ted Williams, another one, batting average, 410. Because Luis Ariz was pretty close this year. You get to like 378, I think. On the season average.
I think that.
Well, how about this? Hitting 400. 80. That's pretty close. Then he missed the World Series because he had hemorrhoids.
Did he really?
He did. Yeah, they played the Phillies. Phillies won. Dr. Crane.
Donovan has texted this in like 15 times. Glenn Hall starting over 500 consecutive games in the NHL as a goaltender. That'll never be broken.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. 500 games.
I remember when Pekka at his best was like, let's, hope he gets about
60 a year.
Yeah, right. But nothing against Pekka, just you don't wear him down. But 500, good Lord, man.
Yeah. I would have to look up like players that have hit over 400. Like Chipper in 2008 hit 364, and there was a time where he was over 400, but then it flattened out. But, I mean, that's pretty impressive to hit 400 in a year.
Oh, absolutely it is.
615-737-1025. More Chase and Big Joe next. 102.5-106.3 The Game.
Knows the ins and outs of the Titans and isn't afraid to give his opinion.
Traylon Burks needs a massive offseason.
He's Jonathan Hutton of Outkick.
I don't see how they make a move without going to Ryan Tannehill.
Catch him every Monday at 10:30 on Chase McCabe and every Wednesday at noon on Caroline, Willie, and D-Mace. Hutton is on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
I bought jewelry in New York, I bought jewelry in LA, I bought jewelry in South Beach, I bought jewelry internationally.
Business owner Adam Rothberg knows jewelry. And of all the stores he shopped over the years, his number one place to go, it's right here, Genesis Diamonds.
There's not a real big reason to go visit a lot of other jewelry stores. Everything that you hope to find everywhere else, you may get bits and pieces of it from others, but you come here and it's a one-stop shop. It's everything that you need to have.
From the largest selection of GIA certified diamonds to the top designer brands in the world to a stunning selection of luxury pre-owned Rolexes.
You really don't need to go anywhere else. Quality of the pieces, obviously a large selection, a selection that fits into a lot of people's budget, and then obviously good counsel and good advocacy for the people that work here that actually know the pieces and know the jewelry business.
And who aren't paid on commission.
They're not pushy. No hard sell.
All this plus the strongest warranties and guarantees in the jewelry industry, plus nationwide price protection and free service for life on any purchase.
Service you get from Genesis is second to none.
Come discover the store that's got it all. Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs.
C10 Nationals, the world's largest Chevy and GMC truck event, is coming to the Nashville Superspeedway September 29th and 30th. Packed with vendors and activities, autocross, swap meet, dyno, drag race, and more. Daily tickets $20 at the gate, and parking is free. More info at c10nationals.com.
Hey home buyers, TJ Anderson here with More Great Homes. Located just steps from the White Bridge Shopping and Dining District of Nashville's Hillwood neighborhood, 80 Brookwood Terrace offers 2 homes with over 4,300 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, formal office, media room, a 2-car garage, and a 1-year builder warranty. Contact my team today at tjandersonhomes.com for more info. Want your home listing to be seen and heard by home buyers? Google TJ Anderson Homes and see why we are referred by clients so often. TJ Anderson Homes at Benchmark Realty, office number 615-432-2919.
Actor Portrayal, based on a real patient experience.
I'm Mike. I'm a husband, proud father of 2, work my butt off 6 days a week, some nights too. When my family or my company needs me to make it happen, I make it happen. But a few months ago, I started having trouble making it happen, in the bedroom. I tried some pills online, but they didn't work. Honestly, I thought about throwing in the towel on my sex life, but I'm not that old. I still want to enjoy intimacy with my wife. Like that poet said, I don't want to just go gently into that good night. So I went to the Tennessee Men's Clinic in Franklin. Got some lab work done, was prescribed some meds, and wow, it made it happen. I can't say enough about them. Their providers took care of me, followed up, and made sure I had a treatment plan that actually works. It's awesome. If I were you, and you're like me, I'd give them a call today, 615-208-9090, or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. If you're like most guys, they'll make it happen for you too.
Visit our website to learn more, including side effects, treatments extra. Results vary.
This is the Chase and Big Joe Show.
I wish you could just shut your big yapper.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hello world, hear the song that we're singing.
TV theme Thursday, Chase and Big Joe. Make your silly underdog picks for your chance to win weekly prizes. You can play at thegamenashville.com or the 102.5 The Game app as we approach Week 5 of college football and Week 4 of the National Football League. Silly underdog picks is presented by Volunteer Hose and Gasket. Chase and Big Joe today. Got a college football game tonight as the Blue Raiders head up I-65 to Bowling Green, Kentucky to take on Western Kentucky. 100 miles of hate game.
Oh, 100 miles of dislike. We're a positive show, man.
Okay. Well, you and Chip Walters will have the call coverage beginning at 5:30 on 93.3 Classic Hits.
Can't wait to get up there. Big game for Middle tonight. Big conference game for both schools, for Middle and for Western. And so it'll be a tough game. Western's had Middle's number the last couple of years. Western's been rolling out these quarterbacks who, make it in the NFL, get on rosters, who do really good. And they throw for a lot of yards. And Tyson Helton's a coach up there. But it'll be a good game. Middle's got some talent, too. They'll go up there. So it should be a packed house. The weather's going to be nice up in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And I'm going to hit up the Corvette Museum today a little bit.
Have you ever been before?
I have not. I don't want to get caught in that sinkhole again. So
I know. So I went before the sinkhole. So
you're the problem.
No. I mean, just what I do. Huh. I went my senior year in high school. We went up there, and then we got to go tour the factory and actually follow a car as it got built.
They're so
It was pretty
nice.
cool. Then they have like a test track out back that you can, if you got the cashola, you can have them custom build you one,
right?
And then go up there, test drive it on the track, and then drive it back.
It'd be nice. I wish it came out like a mid-'60s vet though. Those old school.
No,
vet
those were
looks.
cool.
Those were really cool. So it'll be a lot of fun game at 6:30 night with Chip Walters and myself on the call. It's hard to believe this is the 5th game of the season.
Is it flying by for you?
It is. From Alabama to Missouri to Murray State to Colorado State and to now entering conference play. So it's exciting. Maybe get up there and call the game tonight on 93.3 down here in Nashville.
Well, you're doing a great job.
You were so sweet. Just very kind. And that's coming from your heart.
It is.
I appreciate that.
So that you can watch it and turn the sound down and listen to Joe and Chip.
Might as well.
CBS Sports Network.
That's what a lot of people do. And then, of course, Saturday, you got the Vanderbilt game here on the station, taking on Missouri, who cracked the top 25. Good for them, 4-0.
There's a game tomorrow night that catches my attention a little bit. Louisville is a sneaky 4-0 right now.
Jeff Brom's a heck of a coach.
Jeff Brom is a heck of a coach. They're playing NC State at NC State. NC State's 3-1. Both of them undefeated in the ACC. But Louisville's been interesting to watch.
Well, there's been talent there. Satterfield, the coach that left, he's now at Cincinnati, was not well liked. And Brom, you can always, God bless you. Brom coming back there, and he's always been he's a great coach at Western, he's a great coach at Purdue, and he gets the opportunity now at his alma mater, Louisville, and that's he's turned things around. A lot of talent on that team.
I'd be curious. I want honesty out of a Vols fan. Now, things are fine now. You got a good coach in Josh Heupel. But how many Vols fans are just thinking back to the whole Pruitt debacle and all of that and Greg Schiano? And remember, it was reported that Jeff Brom was going to take the job, and then he didn't. But, if you had gotten Jeff Brom.
Who said that?
Well,
He went on ESPN and said that.
I know.
Oh, Jimmy Himes.
Yep. What it would have looked like if Jeff Brom had gone to Knoxville.
Oh,
I think he would have done a good job.
Question. That's a great one.
I know Louisville. obviously you want to coach at your alma mater, and more times than not, it doesn't work.
Right. He'd only been at Purdue 1 year at that time, and I think he didn't want to get here's a coach that bounces around, and ended up doing it, and it paid off in the long run for them. So, that's.
That's a what-if game. Yeah,
it is.
What if Jeff Brom had gone to Knoxville?
That's a good one. That's a what if.
I don't think there would have been money in McDonald's bags.
No, or if Mike Leach would have gotten that job when John Curry met with him out in
Mike Leach. I heard Mike
California.
Leach do an interview with Plaster, and he flat out said, "I wanted the job. I was taking the job."
Why would you not?
And they
want
never
that
offered
job?
the job.
Right.
And he goes, I think he had the line of if you guys think I'm weird, that John Curry guy.
The Vols get South Carolina, then they get a week off, and then Texas A&M rolls into town, and I hope Tennessee drops 300 on Jimbo that game. I really do. And then they go to hit the road for 2 games at Alabama and Kentucky. I told you, Alabama, man, you tried to write them off, Chase McCabe, and I called Nick and I said, hey, Chase McCabe appears writing you off. And he said, okay, all right.
I said, all right.
I said, all right. And I did the same thing, though, about Texas with McConaughey. He said red light, green light. And it didn't happen. So, but
Texas is back.
They are. They're good. So, South Carolina this week. And, again, don't let it be the revenge game, Vols fans, of Hendon Hooker. And don't – and I hope Heupel's preaching the message look, that's last year. Let's worry about Saturday night. Because South Carolina's got a decent football team. If you don't watch out, they could come in here and get a victory and sneak one out on you.
What do you think about this game, another ACC game, 11 o'clock on Saturday on ABC? Clemson at 2-2 after that heartbreaker against Florida State, going against undefeated Syracuse.
Where is it?
The Dome.
Oh, I like Syracuse in that.
Getting 6.5. I like Syracuse too. I don't think Clemson's very good. Dabo's still a good coach, but that stock has fallen.
You jumping off the Dabo ship already.
I am off the Dabo ship.
Okay. I mean, you do it. No, I do like Syracuse got a little momentum, and they're unbeaten.
Yeah.
Okay.
4-0.
All right.
It's their first conference game, but they're 4-0.
Yeah. I know I've talked to people who've played in the Carrier Dome for the first time and said it takes a minute to get used to that.
Yeah.
It's just a different vibe. I remember one guy telling me, look, he's like, this is where all the great basketball games were played with Georgetown and Syracuse and St. John and all those teams back in the 80s and 90s. And now you're playing on the court there inside the Carrier Dome. So I know. That'd be a good game for Syracuse.
615-737-1025.
Decides to call instead of text.
Hi, Sean. Sean Henry is with us. What's up, Sean?
Well, I'm in a bad cell service, but guys, when you talk Ricky, you need to call me.
Ricky Henderson?
Yeah, stolen bases in the 1800s.
Oh, no. Oh, no. We lost
I actually
Sean.
was looking forward to this. I think we lost him. He's in that bad cell area.
Dang it.
There he is. Okay.
Uh-oh.
You're back.
Stolen base in the 1800s counted a double was a stolen base. A triple was 2. A home run was 3. Why do you guys call me as your Wikipedia, man? Come on.
Well, we will from now on. Are you on the way to Clarksville?
So, Sean, I know you can hear us. So you're going to say that Hugh Nickel at 138 stolen bases in 1887, but that doesn't count, does it?
Sean, you'll have to try back.
Better cell service.
Yeah, it's not
Mr.
working.
Henry.
Speaking of Clarksville, the blue and gold game tonight in Clarksville at the F&M Bank Arena. We'll air that starting at 7 o'clock here on 102.5 The Game. Really cool. I'm excited to see it.
You been up there yet?
I have not. I have not. So I'm really excited to go see it.
I've talked to people who've been up there and says it's a game changer for Clarksville.
Yeah, Austin Peay will play their basketball games there. It's also got an ice rink, and so it'll be really cool to see that tonight. And we'll air that here on 102.5, 106.3, The Game. He's still there. Sean, can you hear us? Sean? Nope. Didn't work. We tried. But, so check that out starting at 7 or head to Clarksville. Pete Weber and Jay Moore on the call.
Love it. Keep the responses going to the text line. What the sports record you think will never be broken in your lifetime? We got a lot of responses, and we'll get to some of those next.
Coming up, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
They're homegrown in Nashville, discussing the biggest topics in the SEC.
The fans are going to want the rivalries to stick around. They've lost to Alabama every year.
The NFL.
What if all the top 3 quarterbacks went 1, 2, 3? You've got to draft your guy at 2.
And anything in between.
From thinking we know everything to then forgetting about everything we thought we knew the day before.
They're Jonathan Hutton and Chad Withrow on Outkick's Hot Mic.
Out of the gates, ready to go.
Weekdays from 2 to 5 on 94.9 The Fan and The Fan app.
Hey everybody, this is Nick Frazier here to tell you about my favorite sport booking casino, and that's BetUS.com. Football is back. That means it's time to lay down your bets. I only endorse one sport booking casino, and that's BetUS.com. They're celebrating their 30th year of sports betting service with a special offer, up to 30 risk-free bets. That's right, up to 30 risk-free bets. It's called Bet Protect. BetUS.com also offers a 125% sign-up bonus, a massive 200% crypto sign-up bonus, and a 250% casino bonus. The game always gets more exciting with the bet, but you could take it to a whole nother level at BetUS.com's live in-game betting. Take advantage of their 30th year offer, up to 30 risk-free bets. Get Bet Protect. Get started today by visiting BetUS.com or at 1-800-MyBetUS to learn more. That's 1-800-MyBetUS. BetUS.com Sportbook and Casino, where the game begins.
The Nashville Oktoberfest is quickly approaching, and now's the time to get your dirndls, Lederhosen, and Party Steins ready. From local breweries to live music and festival artisans, you can't go wrong celebrating this free family fun Germantown tradition. The Nashville Oktoberfest 2023, Thursday, October 5th through the 8th at Bicentennial Mall in Germantown. Prepare yourself for 4 days of brats, beer, live music, and competitions. VIP experience reservations are still available at thenashvilleoktoberfest.com. Prost, y'all! Penalty Box Radio Live is back. Join Alex Doherty and Sean Smith every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. for a full hour of local hockey talk, full analysis of the Nashville Predators. Honest hockey talk like you've come to expect from the Penalty Box Radio brand over the years. Penalty Box Radio is back home on 102.5 The Game for the 2023-2024 hockey season. For more, check them out at penaltyboxradio.com.
The pandemic is over, but COVID-19 is here to stay. In fact, it's still among the top 5 leading causes of death in the U.S., just after heart disease and cancer. So this fall, stay up to date with the latest COVID-19 vaccines, just like you do with the flu, because you've got no time for 19. The vaccine may not be for everyone. Please consult with your doctor. Brought to you by Moderna.
Hey, if you missed our show, you can get it on demand. Just search for the Chase and Big Joe Show podcast on Apple, Spotify, or any podcast platform.
Chase and Big Joe are on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Hasenpfeffer Incorporated. We're gonna do it. Give us any chance, we'll take
It's our weekend thing, Joe. It's what we play every Friday.
It is.
Laverne and Shirley. 615-737-1025. Chase and Big Joe on this TV-themed Thursday. Hope you're having a great day. You were just reading. I forgot that in Sean Henry, our Ricky Henderson expert, that he played for like 10 teams.
Every other team in baseball.
I mean, he's, to me, A's and Yankees like stand out the most. But
he won a World Series with the A's in '89 and with the Blue Jays in '93. He got that.
He was on the team that beat the Braves.
They beat the Phillies.
Or Phillies. Yeah, Braves were a year before.
That's correct.
So A's and then Yankees and then back to the A's in '89 and then Toronto and then back to the A's and then the Padres and then Anaheim, then back to the A's and the Mets, then Seattle, Padres, Red Sox, finally Dodgers in 2003.
Hey, keep playing till they tell you that they don't want you anymore. All right, Chase, I want to play this game with you with Tennessee football. All right, they're 3-1 right now. Knowing what you know now, I'm going to go down the rest of the schedule. You give me a win or loss, okay?
Oh, boy.
Tennessee plays South Carolina, win or lose?
Win.
Get a week off. They play. So that puts them at 4-1. And this is how the season's going to play out because you're a fortune teller. A&M in 2 weeks at home.
I think they win.
All right, 5-1 at Alabama.
Loss.
5-2 at Kentucky.
Win.
6-2. UConn comes in.
Win.
7-2 at Missouri.
Win.
8-2. Georgia comes to town.
Loss.
8-3 and Vanderbilt.
Win.
So if you're a Vol fan, so right now you can go 9-3. Do you take that? And I bet you every Vol fan would say no.
Yep, they'll be disappointed.
Even at 9-3 because of what happened last year.
Would I be shocked if they didn't steal one against Alabama or Georgia? No.
But also,
would I be shocked if they got one stolen by South Carolina or Kentucky?
Yeah, right.
No.
But be the average conservative glance at this 9-3. And I think that shows you how far Heupel, even, I think, did Joe write a column that got Titans Vol fans upset about expectations last year, went a little bit too high and come down to earth just a tad bit. And I think that's true because you asked the same question in 2000, hey, with Pruitt's mess, would you take 9-3 in 2023? You'd be like, absolutely I would. I'd take that. And now he was like, no, they're better than that, which is good. You should have high expectations for your program. Right?
You should. But, I mean, I think that's what happens, and not just Vols fans. I mean, any program that if you overachieve, and, can we agree that maybe last year they were ahead of schedule? That's probably the best way to put it. I won't say overachieve. I'll say they were ahead of schedule. Agree?
Yeah.
Second year with Josh Heupel because Hendon Hooker had a Heisman caliber year. And if he doesn't get hurt, he might have won the thing.
Correct.
So you have that, and so when you're ahead of schedule, then your expectations for the next year are going to be even higher than that, even though they probably shouldn't be. And I think losing Hendon Hooker this year and going back to Joe Milton, and he's been okay,
right?
But he hasn't been Hendon Hooker good.
But you knew this.
I don't know that.
People thought that
he knew that, but people are still, that disappointment is going to be there. Just like the disappointment, and I think it may last year, you won the Orange Bowl, and you'll take that for sure. But the disappointment of not making the playoff because you just had a bad game against South Carolina and you lost to a team you shouldn't have, that's where it really hurt.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this. Let's do the thing. All right. So Vanderbilt plays Missouri, ranked in the top 25.
Yep.
I hate saying this. It's a game Vanderbilt can win. Right. I saw Missouri up close and personal.
Can they? I mean, Middle should have beaten Missouri.
Yes.
Middle should have won that game.
What did Coach Stockstill tell us? Coulda instead of shoulda?
Yeah, coulda. But I mean, Vanderbilt could have beaten them last year and should have beaten them last year, and they didn't. But I mean, I can't sit here and say that Vanderbilt should go win a game after what I've seen, the first few weeks of the season.
I'm trying to think the last time Vanderbilt beat a top 25 team. It can't be Kansas State in 2017. Surely I'm wrong on that. Don't call me Shirley. I looked it up. I don't know. I don't know. But if you knock off Missouri, top 25 team, then you're 3-3 halfway through the season. I think Vandy fans would take that.
Of course they would.
Maybe 4-2, maybe win the non-conference games and all those. But I think 3-3 they would do that.
What I hope happens is there's motivation, out of some of the mistakes from Kentucky, and they do win this week. But what I'm scared of is that UNLV game is haunting them a little bit, because that's one you want that one back.
Well, sure you do.
I mean, you should have won that game.
Go all the way out there and get beat by them, yeah. So you need that.
I mean that's a tough one. That's one you'd like to have back. Wake Forest, okay, that was always going to be a toss-up, but to me, for everything to go the way they wanted it to go, they had to go 3-1 in non-conference, and they didn't do it.
Hey, Alden weighed in on the text line. He didn't take a shot at me. Alden, what's going on, man? I'm a Vols fan. Would be extremely okay with a 9-3 team. Just as not as good as last year. Different team. Also, sport record from earlier. I doubt anyone will break Mike Vick's record of years in prison starting in the NFL. Okay. All right. Well, that's my bad for not.
Yeah. Well, I was like, okay, you're going to take it? Okay,
for not going that.
Whatever.
Here's one. Our question is, what sports record will never be broken? Coming off Ronald Acuna being the charter member of the 40-70 Club. Ron says, I'm not sure if you can average Mike Tyson's KO times or how fast he knocked his opponents out, but not sure anyone will be another Iron Mike type. Haven't checked any stats. I
bet there's some boxing records that will probably stand.
I mean,
Tyson probably has most of them.
He just destroyed people. I mean, within him beating Michael Spinks in 1988, I think it was within the first 30 seconds of the first round.
Let me ask you this, because you're as a historian,
as an old man,
historian.
Yeah,
I didn't
buddy.
say that. I mean, we always talk about like, okay, how cool would it be to see like some of the Jordan Bulls teams against like the Steph Curry Golden State Warriors or LeBron and all those things, but very different eras of basketball. Is boxing that one sport that if you could drop like Muhammad Ali in his prime and Mike Tyson in his prime, that we would just see a fantastic fight?
I think
boxing just
that's a great question.
Stands the test of time.
I think Mike Tyson would have destroyed Muhammad Ali.
I do too, but I mean, like,
but how do you? It's hard to compare the two. It's really difficult to compare that.
Sure, I mean. And again, I guess you can use the different eras argument, but at the same time, like boxing's boxing. The concept doesn't change.
Well, could the 1968 or 66 Green Bay Packers beat the 85 Bears? One of the most prolific power offenses of all time, running the football against the best defense ever? I mean,
potentially.
These are great questions, yeah. But as far as boxing goes.
But I feel like for me, boxing is like that number one sport. And maybe you could put golf in this too. Of just like of legends of different eras that like I would just love to see face each other. Like it's probably at the top.
Didn't they do that? Wasn't Rocky Balboa about that, where it was a video game? Rocky came back and fought that guy. He was from a different generation. That's the one where Adrian died. That's sad.
Yeah, I think that was that Rocky V.
Rocky V was Tommy Gunn.
Rocky V was awful.
Terrible. With the Don King wannabe character, that was bad.
Rocky
Balboa was the one where he came back and fought the video game guy.
Oh yeah.
That was a great line about
nothing
can hit you hard as you get back up on the feet.
Can you get hit?
Yeah.
And his son's in it.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Before we go to the break, because we got celebrity birthdays coming up. Rocky, the original movie. I tell people it's the greatest love story of all time. Is it a love story or a sports movie?
It's both.
I need one answer, pal.
No, it's both.
Is it a love story?
It can be both.
Or a sports
Why
movie?
can't it be both?
That's a good question, I guess. I think it's the greatest cinematic love story ever.
It's both.
I think Rocky is, but you could look at – I see that. But I prefer to say it's a love story.
Yeah. I mean, the love story is there because of Adrian, but it's also a sports movie because it's boxing, and it's a movie that everybody should be required to watch because you can win by losing.
That's right.
Like, he lost the fight, but he won.
That's it. He did. Look at you. It's chill bumps, man.
Yeah. It's a fantastic movie. And Rocky 2 was
no, like, don't you shut your mouth.
Well, but okay.
They got better as they went on.
Yes, but if I said to you, and if we jump back in the DeLorean and we change history and there is no more Rock, it's just the first movie, it would have been fine.
Sure.
You could have ended it with that, and it would have been perfect.
But you wanted him to win.
Sure.
It's like watching.
But he didn't have to. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what made it so good. He didn't have to win.
Like Shawshank Redemption. What other movie do you root for convicted murderers?
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
And that's one of my all-time favorite movies.
So, but I think Rocky 2, if you advance.
What's the name of the town in Mexico?
San Montanero.
Yeah, San Montanero.
Yeah. San Montanero. Fort Hancock. I got one ticket for Fort Hancock, Texas. But I think if you look at Rocky II advanced the story, and then it became a sports movie. Rocky III, you get knocked down, Eye of the Tiger. Rocky IV was, with Drago, and then on and on and on. But you can't, those first couple of Rockies were just fantastic. Fantastic.
So I could be, before we go to break, I could be in the minority here. Rocky is the best of the trilogy. I might say Rocky IV is second. I actually love Rocky IV.
Oh, man. Apollo does. I like Rocky III is my favorite one.
See, a lot of people like Rocky III, and it's okay, but it's not my favorite.
That beach scene with Adrian is just – and then Clubber Lang.
Mr. T.
Pain. I mean, when he tells her, "Won't you see a real man come over to my apartment tonight?" I mean, just all those were just fan. And then Hulk Hogan's in that.
Yeah, but Mickey dies.
Mickey does die
in that movie.
But Hulk Hogan's got one of the best lines of all time: "The ultimate male versus the ultimate meatball." And by the way, Hulk in that movie is like 30 years old. So
yeah, and that actually was the genesis of Hulk and Mr. T at WrestleMania.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
Look at us, man. All kind of good knowledge are dropping here today. By the way, Sean Henry's blowing up our text line, our personal text line.
I know. We're talking about Ricky Henderson. Coming up next, celebrity birthdays, put a bow on things. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
He breaks down every game.
The players are still going to be fine.
And knows the ins and outs of the two-tone blue.
They deal with their own position coaches.
He is ESPN NFL Nation Titans reporter Teron Davenport.
It's clear what he's doing.
TD joins every Monday at 1, Thursdays at 3, Friday mornings at 8, and anytime on the Talkin' with TD podcast.
I think that's really cool how he could show both sides.
TD is on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Football is back, and so are the deals at Electronic Express. Come into any of our convenient locations and save big on 4K TVs from your favorite brands like Samsung, LG, Sony, and more. This week at Electronic Express, save up to 40% in every department, including computers, appliances, smart home, Bluetooth speakers, and more. Plus, get up to 60 months special financing. Score amazing deals in-store or online at electronicexpress.com. Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Are you looking to buy a new home? Need cash now instead of having to wait for your current house to sell? Don't get ripped off by one of those I buy your house people. Call Loan Pronto. Hey, Willie Donick here. Loan Pronto's Dream Home Bridge Loan can help tap your equity so you can get the cash you need. Make a clean offer on that new home or that investment property with cash to cover the down payment. With this amazing program, you can get the cash in a matter of days. Very little paperwork, and usually no appraisal is needed. So you can go after the house you want with no contingency. Then when your current house sells, the bridge loan completely disappears. Don't put off your dream. Let Loan Pronto help you leverage your equity so you can get the cash to make a solid, clean offer. Call now, 615-499-5780. Ask about the Dream Home Bridge Loan. LoanPronto.com. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
When it comes to shopping for home and auto insurance, the companies that usually come to mind can only offer one coverage option. So, if you want to compare prices, you're forced to visit multiple websites just to get one quote at a time, but not with Zander Insurance. Zander is a broker that works for you, shopping dozens of top-rated companies to find you the best rates this year and every year so your price stays competitive, keeping your life simple and hassle-free. Compare rates all in one place at Zander.com, or for a more personal touch, call 800-356-1780.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Just a minute, don't hang up.
Hey, we want to hear from all of you. Give us a call or text at 615-737-1025.
Hello. You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel.
Our phone line driven by Wilson County Hyundai.
Chase and Big Joe are on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Greatest television show of the 90s, Friends, on a TV-themed Thursday.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Better than Seinfeld?
Okay, that's a good point. I stand corrected.
That's all right, man. You're a young guy. That's okay.
I was in the pool.
You go all day. I mean, if you watch Seinfeld now.
Damn, that's really good.
It is just, it's great. I mean, now that you know that Larry David's behind half of that, it's even better now. Because back then you really didn't know a lot about Larry David.
I met Kenny Kramer one time. He did like his bus tour. And it was doing I don't know if he still does it, but he was doing like a bus tour of all the Seinfeld landmarks in New York City.
Were you up there?
And we were on our 8th grade trip, and we were in one of the areas, and a friend of mine and I that always watched Seinfeld like saw him. We're like, oh my gosh, that's Kenny Kramer. And we went up like, hey Kenny, and he was like, hey.
Did he take you on a tour or anything?
No, he was just like, hey kid.
Did he say, you like? Never mind.
No. No, he wasn't Michael Richards. He was Kenny Kramer.
Right.
Who the character is based off
Ever been to a
of.
Turkish prison?
But yeah, okay, all right. Seinfeld, then Friends.
Okay, that's okay. Hey, look, man, that's what we're here for.
I've been rewatching The Office, by the way. That's still a good one.
I kind of burned out on it.
I heard there's a reboot.
There's no way they could do a reboot. There's no way they can do a reboot of The Office.
I'm just passing along the message.
I saw it, but I mean, there's just. I think Steve Carell said he wouldn't be any part of it, but money talks.
now he's changing his mind.
Money talks.
Because here's what happens: these streaming services like Peacock, which that's NBC,
right,
or Netflix or whatever, they roll up to your house with a dump truck full of money, and you can't say no.
Because people like Creed and Phyllis and Stanley. I mean, they all characters in the show. I don't even know their real names. Would let's do this so we. But
they're doing Frasier, for instance. They're bringing Frasier back.
Dr. Crane,
and
they already have, didn't they?
Well, I mean, I think it's just started streaming.
Okay.
I'll probably watch an episode, but here's my problem. The only regular that's in it for most of it is Kelsey Grammer. Roz makes one appearance. Niles said no, said he didn't want to do it. So then you don't have Daphne.
Right.
Martin died. So, I mean, you got to have – it's got to be more that – give me some people from Cheers.
Give me the Cheers reboot.
I would take a Cheers reboot, even though how many of them are still around?
I think all of them, aren't they?
Kirstie Alley died.
Well, almost.
Coach.
Then bring Shelley Long back.
Yeah.
But you got Woody,
Diane.
you got Sam, you got Norm. I mean, they're all still
Norm.
Most of them. Cliff.
Yeah, he's downstairs.
He's downstairs. All right, it's time.
Let's get to celebrity birthdays.
Hit it. Do we have a guest today that's going to partake?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
All right.
I think Dr. Crane's got it.
All right, here we go. Time for celebrity birthdays. First up, Chaser, comedian Janine Garofalo. How old is she?
Ooh. 52.
43.
59.
Oh, okay.
Good job, guys. Actress Mira Sorvino. I think she won an Academy Award, too.
When?
Some movie that she was in. Mira Sorvino. She was also in Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. Just answer the
50.
question.
Going 58.
56.
There you go.
Okay.
Dr.
Didn't know
Crane.
who she was.
Nice job there, guys. Actress Naomi Watts.
I don't know who that is.
She's
either.
Nicole Kidman's best friend. That should tell you something. Shout out to Nicole listening on YouTube.
58. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Keith.
I was going to say 57.
55.
Nice.
Dr. Crane. Up 2-0. You need this because you got beaten the last 2 days. Actress Hilary Duff.
Pause. Hilary Duff is...
Lizzie McGuire?
I know who she is. I'm just thinking.
No, I was like, is that Lizzie McGuire? Hilary Duff. Her dad owns Duff Brewing Company.
And she's in the reboot, the How I Met Your Father. 35.
I was going to say 36.
36, exactly.
Nice.
Dr. Crane. Actress Bridget Bardot. Very popular back in the day.
61.
Let's go 67.
89.
Okay.
Actor Joel Higgins. He was the dad on Silver Spoons with Ricky Schroeder.
78.
72.
80. Good
Hey,
job.
I'm on the board.
Actor Jeffrey Jones. He was in He's the one chasing Ferris Bueller in Ferris Bueller's Day. He's the principal. Rose.
82.
I'm going to go 91.
77.
Boy, oh boy.
Oy. It's all right. You guys are getting there. Here's an actor from Seinfeld, but I don't know what character he was. Steve Heitner? I don't know which one he is. I don't know what. This is not part of the game. I don't know which character he was.
Brunette hair?
I don't know. It just says his name.
Oh, it doesn't have a picture.
Hytner. Look him up.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to do that.
I don't know. I mean, I'll guess.
I don't know.
59.
I'm going to go 64.
64 exactly.
Nice.
Bingo. Let's go.
4-1. Moon Zappa. MTV personality singer Moon Zappa.
MTV personality now? Do they still have those?
Back in the day.
69.
74?
56.
Okay.
The brunette from Little Big Town, Karen Fairchild.
So the lead singer, basically. 44.
53.
54. Dr. Crane, smoke it. It's 5-1. You might get a Willie Donick record here. Country singer Mandy Barnett, who lives here in town.
58.
63?
48.
No.
Rapper Young Jeezy, or Heezy. Jeezy?
yeah, Young Jeezy, yeah.
Young Jeezy?
43.
I'm going to go... this is tough. I'm going to go 39.
46.
Okay.
TV personality Bam Margera from Jackass.
Oh, yeah. 49.
I'm going to go 38.
44. And one more. Dr. Crane, see if you can tie Mr. Donick. And let's see if we got one more. Olympic swimmer Janet Evans.
39.
Was she in like a recent Olympics?
I don't know, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said 39, Chase. I'm going to go 46.
53.
Nice.
So the winner is
Banya. That's who it is.
Oh, that's Banya? Okay.
Yeah. Ricky just said that.
Yes.
That's gold, Jerry.
Yes. Yeah. Jerry hated him.
That's right.
Wouldn't give him the
Was
jacket
it Eric?
back.
Eric,
right.
Eric Banya? Is that his name?
Yeah, Eric Banya.
Yeah.
He had to take him out to dinner twice.
That's right.
Hey, Jerry.
That is right.
Man. Yeah. How old is he, by the way? Bonus round.
I don't know.
Banya?
Yeah.
I thought we said 59.
Oh, he's
Or
64.
He said 64
Oh,
exactly.
okay, that's
yeah,
right.
you gave it to him. That's how he lost. So
I'm about 2 hours ahead.
That's
See you on the radio tonight, brother.
Yeah, we'll be listening 5:30 pregame on 93.3 Classic Hits, MTSU, Western Kentucky. That'll do it for us. Caroline, Willie, and D. Mace. Coming up next, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.